Hey Lenny lovers, it's Lisa Young Sutton with video number 2 in the Strengthening Your Core Foundational Series. Now that you've watched video 1 and you have worked out all of your primary vibes or core meanings, you are ready to start playing with your cards, right? And you're all chomping at the bit, aren't you? So you'll begin with 3 card spreads. There are 2 ways to approach them, and you'll need to learn and practice both. Now let me show you. First of all, I am using the Petit Lenormand, and this is another Kendra deck. Kendra, what is your last name? Well, it's from Kendra's vintage Petit Lenormand, right? Petit Lenormand. Geez, you know, I think I have like at least three of your decks. I think I even have more. I had no idea I loved you so much, Kendra. But I do. Okay, now let me show you in my book right here the chapter. Start with 3 cards, okay? So I explain why you want to start with 3 cards. The line of 3, okay? Right here, narrative reading. This is what we're going to go over today. All right, narrative reading. A paired reading, that is kind of, you know, there are some techniques in here that I do not use, but of course I included them because they do exist and some people will see them out there and some people may want to use them and that's the way they're going to read, and so I've included things in here that I don't necessarily use myself. For me, it's descriptive or narrative. Now here we have, for a descriptive reading, we have a charged focus card, and then we have the uncharged focus card with the middle card focus. Focus card reading with first card focus. And then I included the past, present, future. Okay, all line of 3. All right, so it's all in the book, my friends. Okay, so where's my deck here? All right. A narrative line. What is a narrative line? Let me just throw 3 cards down here. What is a narrative line? It's a story. It's how you read a sentence, right? It's how, here, let me zoom in. It's how you read a story. It's how you read a comic strip. That's usually how, the best way of describing it, because I think everybody knows how to read a comic strip, right? So a narrative line has a beginning and an end, a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? So the story begins with the first card. Now you know how I shuffle and shuffle. I just, you know, do my hand over, whatever it's called. What do they call this? The hand over shuffle? Whatever. And then I just fan them out and I draw by feel, okay? But the way I place the cards for a narrative is 1, 2, 3. I place the cards the way I'm going to read them. That's how I do it. So for a narrative, I just lay the cards 1, 2, 3, all right? And like I said, the story begins here. Here's the middle. Here's the end. So what types of questions are suitable for this type of reading? Anything where you're asking how something will turn out, how something will progress, right? Like what will the day bring? If you ask that, this is how it's going to start. This will be the middle, midday. This will be the way it ends. Okay? Now, for a descriptive reading, for beginners, the best way is to start with a focus card, and the most common place or common position for a focus card is the center. It's just easier because if you're going to place your first card as the focus and then this describes this and then you're kind of left hanging with this one, you're like, well, is it just describing this and then together these describe this, or is this describing these 2? Like this already described this, so you have a picture now and then this. Okay, just put it in the center. Make it easy on yourself. Lay this card first. Here we go. Lay your center card first and then put the cards around it. Okay? All right. So, what types of questions are used for descriptive readings? Well, you're asking for a physical description of something or an emotional description, like how are you going to feel about something? You want the cards to describe feelings or to describe physical traits or character traits. Yeah, so like, how will I feel about blank? Or how will blank feel about me? Or how will blank feel about blank? Blankety blank. What will my oh, I like this. I'm going to do this one. How will my blind date look? Right? Describe my next pet. We use descriptors in missing object readings to describe locations, right? Okay, now you have to remember that there's a bit of a crossover with many types of questions where they might be answered sufficiently using either a narrative or a descriptive. So sometimes either will be suitable. So don't get too worried about, did I make the right, or did I, make the right choice? Did I choose the right one? As long as you're clear on what you're doing and how you're going to read those cards, and as long as you know exactly what those cards mean to you, it'll happen. The cards will follow suit, okay? They are your mode of communication. So the rules you give them are the rules they will follow. All right. So, you have to, organization is the name of the game, right? As is focus. But if you're not organized, you stand a very good chance of getting the wrong message by being, the wrong message or getting no message by being utterly confused, right? Yeah, the name of the game is focus. Focus, organization. And you have to have a clear intention and an open and unbiased mind. That is important too, right? Don't get in the card's way. Be open to seeing things that you haven't thought of. Isn't that why you picked up the cards in the first place? If you're so sure you know what the answer is, well, what are you even using the cards for? Yeah, be open to things that you haven't considered. Things that, don't try to get the cards to match what you're surmising. That's really my point. Oops, wait, hang on. All right, we're going to go through some examples here. The magic of card divination is that the right cards are able to show up exactly as we need them to, right? How do they know how to appear? How do the right cards just appear? That's the magic, right? Interpreting them is a learned skill because you need to know what those cards mean to you and how you're going to read the cards. Okay? In other words, if you set your intention to read the cards from right to left, say, well, then the cards are going to fall differently than if you set your intention to read left to right. Okay? You get it? All right, so let's run through some examples. We'll start with a 3-card narrative. How will the meeting go? I'm going to try not to knock my camera, which I've been doing a lot lately. Here we go. How will the meeting go? And of course, what did I just say about magic? What did I just say about because, all right, I know this still blows me away. How long have I been reading cards now? Every single day for how many years? And this still blows me away. I'm asking about a meeting, and the meeting card shows up. But this is a perfect point. This card did not show up just to say, oh, you're asking about a meeting? Here, this is the meeting card. And then you don't read it. And I've seen people do that. No, this card showed up to tell you something. All right, let's go through it. How will the meeting go? It's a 3-card narrative, so this is the way the meeting's going to start. This is the middle, and this is the way it's going to end. Now, I'm using a theme deck. Yes, it's the Yule, like I said, it's the Yuletide Lenormand. This is a Christmas theme deck. When you are watching a video, and, obviously the clouds is very clear, but you're looking at this and it says wreath, and you're thinking, what the heck card is that? Well, first of all, it does kind of look like a ring, doesn't it? But if the name doesn't give it away, the number will. It's 25, okay? Or the playing card instead, if you know those. But yes, this is the ring. So we have clouds, ring, sun. Again, fireplace is the sun, card 31. Okay, so we have, isn't that funny? Look, it starts with clouds and ends with the sun coming out. Okay, so how will it start? It's going to start in an unstable way. You may be unfocused, and the general vibe of the meeting is going to be one of uncertainty and an unpredictable outcome, right? You're not sure how it's going to go. That's the feeling you're going to have going into this meeting. But then we have the ring. So there's a coming together, right? A joining is going to happen. There's an agreement. Now we went from like troubles, right? Now we're in agreement, and it ends with the sun coming out. the agreement then leads to success. Now you're seeing things clearly, right? You couldn't tell which way the wind was going to blow here, but now you see things clearly, and it's a successful meeting. It ends successfully. Okay? All right, now let's do how will my finances be affected over the next 6 months if I take this new job? How will my finances be affected over the next 6 months if I take this job? Okay. All right. Again, this is a 3-card narrative. This is a narrative line, rather, okay? Because I'm asking, how will my finances be affected over the next 6 months? This could also be a descriptive question. You could just throw 3 cards down and get an overall description, right? But I wanted to know a beginning, middle, and end, right? Because someone is changing jobs, and I want to know, how is it going to be right from the start, then what's going to happen, and then how's it going to end? So that's why I'm doing a narrative line for this. All right, so we have rider, reindeer is rider. We have clover. Remember, look at the card numbers, 1, 2, 34. We have rider, clover, and the fish again. These cards, oh my God. I'm totally, connected to my Lenormand cards, as you can see. All right, so yes, I'm asking about money, and the money card comes up. But again, this is telling you something. This is not just showing up to say, you're asking about money, here's the money card, just read these 2. No, read every card. Okay, so we have rider, clover, fish. The rider is telling you that what is the rider? It's a fast-moving incoming energy. So it says that your finances are going to change quickly, right? The clover is another fast card. And following the rider, you know that the change the rider is bringing is going to be positive. This is the card of a little luck. It's the card of opportunities, right? The fish at the end, this is great because it's the card of increase. It's the card of quantity, but it's the card of increase and adding value. Money is flowing. So you're going from it's a quick, a fast-moving change, right? Things are looking up, right? There's luck. It's looking, the rider is bringing something positive, and your finances are going to increase. This is added value. Okay. Am I yelling? I'm sorry. It's because I'm drinking coffee. I'm all hyped up when I drink coffee. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to yell at you. Okay. Now, another one. How will I feel about the board's decision? This is a good one. How will I feel about the board's decision? Because this is a descriptive reading. We're asking about feelings. And I am going to link, you know what? I want to do a center. I'm going to keep that card. That's going to be my first card because I already set that there. But I want to show you that when I do, when you do a descriptive reading, lay the center card first. There. So we'll. All right. Yeah, we're asking about feelings, and we get the feeling card. Of course. Okay. And then this is the last one. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. I'm going to link in the description box below. I will link the blog I wrote on emotions and feelings. All of the keywords for all the cards and on emotions and feelings. All right. So, again, this is a descriptive reading with a center card focus. The center card is the heart. Then I drew the birds and the tower. Okay. Now, this is a very good point here because, yes, I'm asking about feelings, and the heart showed up, and it is our focus card. So it's the primary card. But don't get caught up in seeing this as love. This is the card of emotions and passion and feeling strongly, right? What is passion? It's feeling strongly about something. Something is going to move your heart, right? Shake your heart up, right? So you're going to be feeling strongly about this. You can't say yet whether this is going to be positive or negative. On its own, yes, this is a positive card. And most places where you find it, yes, it's going to be all lovey and good feelings and all that. But because we're asking this line to describe feelings, the fact that this card showed up as the focus says you're going to feel strongly about it. How are you going to feel strongly about this? Well, we don't have... The other cards aren't positive cards. They're like neutral, a little slanting to the negative, right? Okay, so how are you going to feel about the board's decision? You're going to feel strongly about it, all right? But the bird says you're going to feel uneasy. What is the bird's card? Think about the descriptive words for the bird's card. It's all the descriptive sections for all the cards are in the book, right? Right here, descriptive words, okay? It's all in there, peoples. Okay, so what are descriptive words for the birds? Uneasy, unsettled, cautious, okay? It's also excitement. Excitement can be positive or negative, right? Dog trainers know that. When a dog's wagging his tail, he might bite you. Doesn't mean he's happy. It means he's excited. Excitement can be positive or negative. All right, so you're going to feel strongly about the board's decision. You're going to feel uneasy, unsettled. I'm going more with the negative here because of the Tower. The Tower is the card of long-term, unchanging things, rules, and bureaucracy. We're asking about a decision by a board, right? There's your rules right there and your bureaucracy and all that, right? So this is going to leave you feeling protective and unevenly matched. This is the card of unevenness in any kind of a relationship. You're asking about a relationship between you and the board, right? How are you going to feel about their decision, right? This is many levels, right? There's a definite, somebody's at the top, somebody's at the bottom, okay? There's too much space in between the two. That's how you're going to be left feeling, right? Uneasy. You're going to feel strongly, you're going to feel uneasy, and you're going to be feeling that it's uneven, right? That it's more in their favor than in yours. Let's put it that way. Okay. Let me do one more. Let me do, what did I say before I was going to do? Yeah, describe my blind date. Okay, describe the physical appearance of my next date, right? And we'll do this with no focus card. Now, when there's no focus card, every card is just going to describe them. You're asking for, oh, this is good too. I want to point this out because you're asking about a physical description. Therefore, it does not matter whether a card is positive or negative, all right? Because you're only using the cards for physical descriptors, all right? It's in the book under descriptive words. You'll find physical description words. Okay. Now, this is a good point, too, that the lady showed up as the first card. We have lady, mice, stork. The lady showed up. What if you're asking for a physical descriptor of your date who is going to be a man? He's just going to have feminine. He's going to have more feminine traits, physical traits. You know, he's not going to be a big burly bear. He's not going to be a big bear. Paul, you know what I'm talking about. He's not going to be a big hairy bear. He's going to be more feminine, right? And if it's a woman, yeah, she's going to be very feminine, okay? The mice, now, like I said, you're not going to say, oh, she's going to be a thief or he's going to be a thief or anything like that. You're only using this card for physical descriptions, physical traits, right? So what are the physical traits of the mice card? Well, it could be buck teeth and chewed nails and an overall look of anxiety, right? If you want to pick all the most negative aspects. But it could also be those like more angular features, right? you know, like a slender, more pointy nose and like high cheekbones. Angular features can be very attractive, right? Or it could be dark eyes and big ears. My mom always said people with big ears live longer. I've been looking at people's ears my whole life. I see somebody with really big ears, you know, and I think, oh, wow, you're going to live a really long time. I don't know, maybe she'll have a long, skinny tail. Anyway, you're only using the card for physical descriptors. So I would say, you know, angular features. And I'm going with more attractive traits here because we already have feminine. Let's just say it's a woman. We already have feminine. And here the stork, what does the stork say? The stork brings possibly tall, but definitely slender and long legs, right? And graceful. That's why I'm leading toward the more feminine aspects of the mice card, because you're looking for correlations. What do these cards have in common? You already have feminine, so let's go with graceful and long legs, and let's go with angular features. All in all, quite an attractive package, I'd say. Okay, so that's it. That is it for today. Now, the next video, which I will be making toward the end of the week, will be the 5-card narrative and descriptive crosses, right? And how you can place a focus card in the center of the cross for a descriptive reading or not. But yeah, we're going to really get the hang of those vertical interactions, okay? I got to get you guys away from linear thinking, the linear thinking of the horizontal line. Okay, thank you, my lovely cards. Mwah. I always kiss my cards when I'm done with them, by the way, because I love my cards. Okay, here's my book. Yes, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And now go play with your cards. Bye, everybody.